Hi guys, so I'm here to tell you a story time about when I was an assistant and my boss made her client's hair fall out. I do want to preface this by saying that I am not going to be telling I'm not going to be saying any names, and if I do mention a name, it's going to be a changed name because one, I don't know who all watches my YouTube videos, and two, I don't want no smoke because you know how sometimes people will take a small thing and make it into a big thing, and that's just not what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So this happened when I was an assistant, clearly. And my boss at the time had two assistants. She had one assistant that started being her assistant after I quit, and then she had me. So this time, excuse me. So this time, I was still working another job when I had came back to assist. And I can't remember if I was still in college or if I had already finished college. Nope, I already finished college because I was a security guard and I would do hair during the day and I would be a security guard at night. So anyway, so yes. So I had two jobs basically. So my boss had an older clientele. Not that that means anything or is the reason why this happened, but I'm just saying to let y'all know. So she had this one client, I'm gonna call her True. So I love True. True loved me. Our birthdays was like, I think 3 days apart, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think her birthday was like on the 9th and my birthday is on the 13th. So that ain't 3 days. Anyways, so we just clicked. And so True wanted to be blonde, but she wanted to be like that. You know how the blondes are like so pale and so icy that they basically look silver? That's the color that she wanted to be. So of course, throughout her salon visits, they had worked gradually to get her to the color that she had wanted to be. Well, this particular time, pause. I have to add this part so y'all can understand. So my boss was the type of hairstylist that you got your hair color retouched every 4 to 6 weeks unless you said that you didn't want to get your hair color touched up that week. On that appointment, she was going to do it. She was already going to have it prepped. So basically, her clients rarely had a whole lot of new growth. Like when I say, I think they might have had like maybe a half an inch of new growth, maybe an inch. And an inch is only like about that big. So, anyways, just to preface the story. So if you know anything about blonde hair, you know that when you reach a certain paleness, the hair is already at a fragile state. And if you have any texture in your hair, meaning like whether your hair is curly, super curly, coily, wavy, once it gets past a certain level of lightness, that curl pattern starts to relax and some people's hair starts to turn straight, which honestly, I ain't gonna lie, if you got a short haircut, you like, this works for me anyways because I could just mold it down and sit myself under the dryer and I don't have to worry about my hair curling up all the time or having a relaxer or whatever the case may be. It just works out, right? So she was very pale to where, like I said, her hair, her natural curl pattern was not there anymore. It was like, it had a little flip to it, but it really wasn't wavy anymore. She had a short pixie haircut. So this particular time, it was time for True's retouch. Well, salon assistant number one, which ain't me because I'm number two, salon assistant number one, she was the one that was going to set up the services. So as an assistant to this woman, it was a part of our job to basically prep every single client for whatever chemical services it was, so that when our boss would come back, she would just have basically all she had to do was put her gloves on and just start applying. She didn't have to go look for no color. She didn't have to go look for no applicator brush, nothing. Everything was literally laid out and ready to go. So I believe, now this was a long time ago. So I believe that I set up, but I know I didn't apply it, but I cannot remember if I was the one that set up and then assistant number one was the one who was like double checking everything. So can't remember, but I know that I didn't touch the woman's hair, okay? So anyways, like I said, She retouches her client's hair color every 4 to 6 weeks, unless you say otherwise when you come for your appointment. So this was True's appointment time to get her hair color. So I'm thinking, like, you know that we're not supposed to overlap the hair that's been colored with lightener, because basically it continues to process, and when you're that light, the hair is fragile, it can fall out. So she will always, when she would do True's hair, she would put it on a root, but then she would lightly run it through the rest of the hair to basically kind of lift that old toner a little bit, because sometimes with blonde hair, it kind of gets a little dull. And if you keep retoning it every appointment, because her hair was so short, the hair color that was already colored, it will get darker or duller. So she would usually just, like, run it through at the end of it, not the whole time, but just like at the very, very end of it, which was enough for her hair. But this time, I don't know what she was on that day. I don't know if she was sleepy, if the chemicals got to her head, if she was irritated. I have no idea why she did what she did. So she had applied the lightener to the roots. Then, for whatever reason, she ran that all the way through, and she told salon assistant number 1 to do it. She said, okay, well, now that I put it on the roots, she was like, run it all the way through. Salon assistant number 1 looked at me like, is she serious? Like she looked concerned. And I got a lot of stories about salon assistant number 1. But anyway, as to the reason why I'm responding the way that I am, because I'm like, you swear you know everything and you got this on lock, so what you over here looking all scary for, right? So I didn't say that out loud, but that was just my disposition, because I'll tell y'all more stories about my boss in another story time so y'all can understand. But I was sitting there, no, I forget that. I'm gonna tell this now. My boss was one of those kind of people where she did not like you offering her clients any advice, any suggestions that did not go along with what she believes in and what she agrees to. So if she didn't believe in it, or she didn't agree to it, or she didn't already previously said it, you better not say it, because guess why? Salon assistant number 3 did something like that. And sis was mad, honey. I'm going to have to tell y'all about that in another one. But anyway, so y'all can kind of get an idea. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you, boo? Like, that's basically like, I didn't say that, but my body language was saying that, like, don't look over here because I ain't got nothing for you, okay? So she's pulling it through. And I'm like, but her roots are not lifted to a point where you should be pulling that through. And she still has more time to process. So she rinses the lightener out. I was there for that part. She applies it again. Now, I'm going to say this. When you are lightening someone's hair, it's not uncommon for you to reapply lightener again. Okay? Remember that. It's not uncommon. But what she did was throwing us off. Okay? So she rinsed it out. She applied the lightener again. And she pulled it through again. And I'm like, what is going on? So you know me, baby. My excuse is always going to be, I got to get to work. I'm sorry. I can't participate in the foolishness. Like, I wouldn't say that out loud, but that would be my body language. Just like, you know what? I got to go to work. Even if I didn't have to go to work earlier that day, when something was going on in the salon and I couldn't take it and I didn't have to stay there all day, I would leave and just be like, I'm sorry. I'm on my way to work. And I would change my clothes and I would leave. So this whole appointment was so weird. When I say it was weird as I don't know what, I was like, yeah, let me hurry up and clean up so I can get ready to go, because something not right about this appointment. She applied the color again. She pulls it through again. Around this time, I'm getting ready to go. Like, I think if I wasn't already dressed to go to work, it was like really, really close for me to start changing my clothes. Salon assistant number 1, take True back to the shampoo bowl, and baby, her hair started falling out. And if you have never seen What's Love Got to Do with It, baby, that scene, ooh, that describes exactly how that woman's hair was coming out.
Ray Charles could see.
Oh, what?
So I'm still there, but I'm in a back because, like I said, I want to stay far away from the situation. Salon assistant number one was pissed. When I say she was livid, she was so pissed because she was like, what the heck? And I was like, and you could feel that she was getting upset, like with every moment, especially when they got to the shampoo bowl and that woman's hair was falling off. Because remember, like I told y'all, when you do a lightener retouch, you have to be very careful about touching hair that's already previously lightened, especially when it's that light, because it can fall out. It's very fragile. And that's what happened. So, okay, they rinsed True out or whatever. True is in the chair or whatever. So, when I say it was silent in that salon, silent. So I'm like, oh my gosh. The silence was so uncomfortable that it wasn't a chosen silence. It was like, I'm silent because if I say something, I'm going to set it off up in here, okay? So she's sitting there. I kid you not. My boss started cutting her hair. Now, remember, y'all, she already got a pixie. And she has a pixie like, it was like Halle Berry length, but like tapered in the back more so. And then she cut her hair down to like Nia Long in the 90s. Like, I think it was like short. No, it was either that length after she got done cutting it, or it was shorter than that. So I'm going to put a picture of Nia Long right here and a picture of Halle Berry here so y'all can kind of see what I mean. But let me tell you something. She ain't tell that woman nothing. She ain't tell that woman, like, you know what? I'm going to cut your hair down because it did fall out at the shampoo bowl. She didn't tell her any of that. Like, when I say none of that, she ain't tell her none of that. She just pulled her scissors out and her comb out and just started cutting. So at this point, True sitting in the chair, she quiet. Assistant number one, speechless. She's not saying anything. And the boss is quiet. She's not saying anything. Like I said, she didn't explain nothing. It was just like she put True in her chair and she started just cutting her hair. Then this was the part that we was like, oh no, she didn't. Now this was the part when I actually left. So after she got done cutting True's hair, they get up to the front and they start ringing her out. I leave because I said, okay, you know what? I ain't gonna see no more because I'm gonna just have to hear the rest of it when I come home. I know when I come home, but when I come to work the next day. Baby, why did my boss make True pay full price for that? So True is feisty. She's a very outspoken woman. Like, not outspoken to like rude, but she knows how to stand up for herself. She knows who she is, right? Oh my gosh. True said nothing. Like I said, she didn't say nothing from the time that they got to that shampoo bowl to the time they got to the chair. She just stopped talking when she noticed her hair. And I believe that she could tell that something was wrong because, like I said, she didn't say nothing. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, this salon had mirrors everywhere. So even if you wanted to hide a mistake, it was going to be very hard for your client to not see anything because there was mirrors everywhere. Like, when I say everywhere, everywhere. If, like I said, when the girl's hair was falling out, I'm pretty sure she saw that her hair looked different than what it did when she came back. And just like when she was walking through the salon to sit at the chair, I'm pretty sure she saw her hair. No, she didn't see her hair because the way that the boss had us wrap the towel around the client's hair, they wouldn't have been able to see it. But I know she knew something was wrong. I know she did. So anyway, and I know she saw how her hair was when she was combing it, because if you've ever combed hair that's overly processed, whether it's through a relaxer, a texturizer, or a color service, the hair will keep coming out of the comb because it's over processed and it's falling out. So it's going to be all over that comb. So anyway, back to the story. When they are up at the counter checking out, I already leave. So I'm like, oh, baby, this ain't going to be nothing good. So, y'all, fast forward. The next day I come in, salon assistant number one had an attitude. She was like, girl, let me tell you what happened. So when she told me what happened, that's how I found out that she made True pay for it. So she was like, yeah, she made True pay for her hair service. And I think it was like was it $200 or was it $250 that she had to pay? I know it was two. I know whether it was 200 or it was 250. It was one of them two numbers. She was like, yeah, she made her pay for it. And then she turned around and she blamed me for her hair falling out. And she said, I'm so pissed. I'm so over this. And her salon assistant number one and the boss was already having heavy conflict. And the heavy conflict started when I started back working there. But like I said, if y'all want to hear that story, just let me know and I'll tell y'all the story about that. But at this time, she was pissed. She was over it. She was like, I can't believe that she sat there and she blamed all of that on me when it wasn't me. I did not, like, it wasn't me. Because like I told y'all, as an assistant, we never, okay, I wouldn't say never. Certain color services we did not apply. And lightener and relaxers was one of the services that we never applied. We can base the client and prep the client for the color service or the chemical service, but we didn't apply it. With lightener though, we never applied lightener on any of her clients. Any other kind of color, we did. So it was like, she was like, I didn't do that. She said, I literally did what she told me to do, which was, I know for a fact, I know this was a long time ago, but I know for a fact that I did see our boss at the time putting the hair color on her roots first. Actually, y'all, I just remembered something. Salon assistant number one didn't pull that hair through. I mean, didn't pull the lightener through. The boss did, but she had salon assistant number one watching it. And so she told her, like, just watch it or whatever. And salon assistant number one would keep asking, like, do you think it's time? Do you think it's time? Child, ma'am, honey. So anyway, y'all, she blamed that whole situation on her, even though she did exactly what her boss told her to do. And around that time, I'm going to just say after that, everything really started spiraling out of control. And salon assistant number one ended up quitting. And when I'm going to just tell this story in there. No. If I tell another story about her, I'll tell y'all how she quit. But she ended up quitting and I just couldn't believe it. Oh, and True never came back. True left. And around the time that I was going to Atlanta for the Pinky Promise conference, I saw her in the store and she had given me some money towards my trip. And so, no. She gave me some money in the salon, but when she saw me, she asked me how my trip was. I'm sorry, I got that confused. And then she confirmed everything that salon assistant number one said. And she said, I'm not coming back because I can't believe what she did. I cannot believe that she messed up and still made me pay for it, but then didn't even compensate in any way, didn't do nothing complimentary or anything. But you guys, I gotta go because I gotta go to work. But if you enjoyed this story time, please let me know. And if you want to hear more story times, just let me know in the comments so that I can keep these going. And please remember that it's you that makes you beautiful. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.